सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् अहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यात् ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The Shanti mantra is referring to all parts of the body. Apyayantu mama angani. Vak, prana, chakshu, srotram, adhobalam, indriyani cha sarvani. Touching each part, it is energizing, relaxing all parts of the body. And then let my mental presence be with divine. And let me not get rejected by the divine, and whatever dharma is being taught in the Upanishads, let that dharma may prevail on me and prevail in the society. This is the meaning of the Shanti mantra. Apyayantu mamangani vak prana chakshuhu srotram ado balam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam aham brahma nirakuryad ma brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastvanirakarot मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. Now let us acquire the knowledge in the Upanishads for ourselves, and that is what this Shanti mantra meant. Today we are going to cover Yoga Chudamani Upanishad. So Yoga Chudamanim vakshe yoginam hitakamyaya kaivalya siddhidam gudham Samvidam Yoga Vittamai. So now it is starting with the statement that I am going to explain. The Yoga Angas. Normally we all know the Yoga Angas as how many? How many Angas are there in Yoga? How many Angas?
Huh? Eight, sir.
Yeah, what are they?
Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi.
Yes, if you drop out Yama and Niyama, which are more generic principles of Dharma or ethics or Zaivi Sampat or discipline or character, then you are left with 6, which are the main yoga core Angas. Yama and Niyama are more generic. They are there in law and ethics and character building and all those different domains. But these 6 are the core yoga content, Yamas. Angas. Therefore, he is explaining those 6 only here. Asanam prana samrodha pratyaharascha dharana dhyanam samadhiretani yogangani bhavanti shat. He is only saying 6 yogangas are there. According to him, there are only 6 because he is taking for granted Yama and Niyama already there. Like once I was doing a research on what kind of yoga the Pandavas were practicing. Then I found in Mahabharata many references were there where they were doing Kriyas also and Pranayam also and Gayatri and so many meditations. It's commonplace. It is not even considered as special yoga. It is taken for granted that it is normally done. Like, we wash our feet, wash our hands, and even take bath when we come inside the house. This is normally done without any description or prescription. Now during coronavirus time, it is being recommended you to wash your feet, wash your hands, if possible take your bath and come inside. So this has become a protocol now as if it is a special thing. Similarly, Yamaniyamas were commonly there with all the people. Everybody spoke truth and everybody was non-violent. Everybody followed brahmacharya, asteya, parigraha, shaucha, santosha, tapas, svadhyaya, iswar. So that's why he's not mentioning those 2. He's directly going to asana, prana, samrodha, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Ekam siddhasanam proktam. First is siddhasana. You all know siddhasana, right? Or I don't know.
Yes, sir.
And you know Padmasana, Kamalasana. Kamalasana, Padmasana is very abundant this time. You all know, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How long can you sit in Padmasana?
7 minutes max.
Half an hour, sir. Now I'm practicing.
Good. If you can sit for half an hour and more than half an hour, then you are on the right path. If you are only 7 minutes, then you are still in the beginning stage. Actually, you should sit 2.5 hours without any pain. Then you have conquered that asana.
Okay.
So he is explaining Siddhasana, Kamalasana, that is Padmasana, Kamala, Padma, one and the same. Ekam Siddhasanam Proktam Dvitiyam Kamalasanam. Now he's Shatchakram Shodashadharam Trilaksham Yoma Panchakam Swadehi Yona Janati Tasya Siddhi Kadham Bhave. How can a yogi reach Siddhi? Siddhi means complete, total success, highest success. How can he reach if he doesn't know what are Shat Chakras, what are Shodash Adharas, and what are 3 Lakshas, and what are 5 Yomas or Akashas? Within the body, within his own body, if he is able to understand what are Shat Chakras, 6 Chakras, and 16 Adharas, and 3 Lakshas, and 5 Akashas. If you don't know, if somebody doesn't know these things, then he cannot reach Siddhi. So now he is explaining the chakras. You all know about chakras? What are the chakras?
Mooladhara, Swadhisthana,
Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura,
Manipura, Vishuddha,
Vishuddha,
How do
Anahata, Agnya Chakra, Sahasrara.
how do you know? You read in the book.
Bhushan sir explained us, sir.
No, but have you experienced?
No, sir.
They are actually there. Simply read and hear from lectures. It is only blind. So, what are chakras? Tell me first. What are the? What is the meaning of a chakra?
It is a
Huh?
Junction of nerves.
No, it is not a junction of nerves. If you cut and see there will be no junction.
Chakra means is a wheel.
No. Just put your mics. I'll explain to you. First of all, the anatomy which we study in medical science or doctors teach or practice is not what we are talking about in the Yoga Shastra. Nothing to do with that anatomy. That is only Annamaya Kosha, the food body. But there are other 4 bodies: Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. These koshas are not the subject of anatomy. The second is Pranamaya Kosha, which is what we are talking about. So the Pranamaya Kosha is pranic body, which we all have, all living beings have. There is nothing but the aura. There is an aura spreading outside the body for about 6 inches, which you can experience in higher levels of pranayama. I don't think any of you have experienced, but I have experienced when I performed intensive pranayama practice in my younger days. So that it can be observed in certain instruments also. There are 2-3 types of instruments people have prepared. There is one Kirlian photography in which you can photograph that aura or the pranic body. And there are other people also who have developed some instrument. There is one Mr. Murthy in Maradpalli, in East Maradpalli. He has made one instrument which will turn automatically as per the prana levels. I have seen it demonstrated. And then there are pranic healers who can experience that not only in their own body but in others' bodies and with colors also. And accordingly, they will clean that pranic body or give treatment to that patient. And it works. So this pranic body contains the aura is, of course, the overall appearance. But inside the pranic body, there are 72,000 plus, maybe 70,000 into 100 channels of the prana vahikas they are called. Prana is not an anatomical thing. It's not nerve, it is not muscle, it is not bone or anything. So these are not visible to naked eye. and this is possible only for some people to feel it. So the channels of prana through which prana flows are called nadis. And these large numbers of nadis, not less than 72,000, maybe 100 times more. Some are small, some are bigger, and some of them are junctions. Many of them are junctions. So all those junctions of the channels of prana, where prana is flowing, like water is flowing in various water channels like that. So those junctions are called chakras. And I have also taken a pranic healing course where I could also do pranic healing on patients who cannot do their own healing through pranayama. And I could do some pranic healing in some real patients. So of course, my colleagues there, seniors, they can do on hundreds of thousands of people. They have treated many, many diseases successfully with pranic healing. So now the chakra is a junction of the pranic channels in that spot in the body. The 6 chakras are the major junctions. Like if you take the railway network, we have many, many junctions. Secunderabad junction, Kachigouda junction, so many junctions will be there. But major junctions are only a few. Vijayawada is the major junction. Secunderabad is not as major as Vijayawada. Similarly, the major junctions, very major junctions, most major junctions are only few. And those few are these 6 he's talking. But actually there are many, many more junctions. All of them are chakras. So now we are talking of the 6 chakras. Now these chakras are what is important for you to note is that they really exist, and you can experience it in higher levels of yoga, which you may not have reached as yet, but you may reach in future if you do intensive sadhana, which may be beyond the present course we are doing. Or if you go through the pranic healing people also, they will also make you realize those chakras after their course you are doing. In advanced levels, they can treat it and they can cure diseases because each of these chakras is controlling the organs around that chakra. Like if you take, say, Nabhi chakra, we have 4 asanas called Nabhi chakra Shuddhi: Uttanasana, Dhanurasana, Chakrasana, and Matsyasana. In Dhirendra Acharya's book also it is there. In my book on Yogasanas also, there are 4 asanas. So those Nabhi chakra Shuddhi, it is called, those 4 asanas. Those 4 asanas will regulate, purify, strengthen the organs around the Nabhi chakra. That is the navel chakra. Now, similarly, heart chakra is there. Similarly, Ajna chakra is there. Of course, C.S.R. chakra is there at the top of the brain, which is near the Brahmarandhra through which the yogis exit the body. So, these chakras, they control the organs around it, and they have special characteristics, colors, shapes, structures, etc., etc., which can be observed and by feeling by certain people, some gifted people in certain conditions. And all of them will observe the same thing. Therefore, there is the validity of that observation. Ordinary people cannot. Just like a dog can get a lot of smell from every human being, it can distinguish between a resident of a house and a non-resident of a house just by smell. But a human being cannot do it. In the same way, yogis have special sensitivity developed through higher pranayama. What all you are doing yoga now is very basic. And when you go to advanced levels, if at all you go to advanced levels, then you will be achieving the awareness of all this chakras, etc. Now, other important point to note is that these chakras have colors, and the colors also matter a lot. And in pranic healing, according to the colors, the healing is done. By adding certain color, by subtracting certain color, and adding intensity, subtracting or removing the impurity. Because all disease, important point to note is that a disorder or a disease is nothing but a disturbance in the pranic body or pranic flow or aura at that particular spot. Suppose, for example, if somebody is having a liver problem, that is Nabhi chakra only, but on the side of liver, that particular place, if you take Kirlian photograph and see, the prana will be depleted, it will be defective, it will be missing, some parts are missing, or some other impurities are there, maybe some other external impurities or injury caused damage or internal impurity or any other such thing. So that can be removed by cleaning. So the pranic healers clean, and yogis can clean by themselves. And after cleaning, they strengthen it. Pranic healers can strengthen the patient with the strength of their own prana. And yogis can strengthen the part of the body by their own prana, which is fully recharged by pranayama. Those who perform pranayama, and of course sukshmayama also has certain amount of pranayama. All asanas also have certain amount of breathing and procedure of breathing, correct breathing, when to breathe out, when to breathe in. That is mild pranayama within asanas. And pranayama within sukshmayama is there, holding the breath, exhaling, inhaling. And actual pranayama is sitting and breathing through left nostril, breathing out the right nostril. All that we have already explained and you know it. So by doing even 5 minutes or 10 minutes of pranayama every day, you will be able to recharge your pranic body in a very big way. And that will overcome most of the disorders because it will develop immunity to external attacks or disorders. And it will energize the pranic body and the chakras. So the defective or weak or diseased condition, fallacious conditions of the organs will be automatically treated by pranayama because it will strengthen the prana in those areas after removing the impurities by performing pranayamas like Bhastrika or Kapalbhati, where the impure air is being thrown out, and through Nadi Shodhana you will get pure air. So these chakras, they are there at Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Ajna, Vishuddha and Ajna and Sahasrara. He is going to explain all of these things now. Adharam Pradhamam Chakram Swadhishthanam Dvitiyakam. Adharam means Mooladhara. And Yoni Sthanam Dvayor Madhye Kamarupam Nigajyate Kamakhyam tu Kudastha Pankajam tu Chaturdala. And he is explaining the various equivalent forms of lotus leaves. Every chakra is considered as a lotus, and it has certain shapes which can also be experienced by yogis. He is explaining those shapes which you cannot see it yourself. Tanmadhye prochate yoni kamakhya siddhavandita tasya madhye mahan lingam paschimagmukham spitam nabhaut manibadhimtam yo janati sa yogavit जो तप्त चामी कराभासम तटिल्लेखेव विस्फुरन् त्रिकोणं तत्पुरं वह्नेर धूमेढ मेढ्रोत् प्रतिष्ठितम् समाधो परमं ज्योतिः अनन्तं विश्वतोमुखं तस्मिन् दृष्टे महायोगे यातायातो न विद्यते. So in samadhi state, the light which you see of the fire, because we have the nadis also that we'll come to discuss next, Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, and there are 18 nadis. And those who reach the Kundalini to Sahasrara Chakra, they will reach Samadhi and they will experience Paramatma. Samadho Paramam Jyotihi Anantam Vishwatomukham. Infinite light in all directions. Asmin Drishte Mahayogi, it is great yoga. Yata Yato Navid. If you reach that stage of the Sahasrara and enlightenment of the light in the Sahasrara, then you have reached self-realization and you will not be born again. Yata Yata means going and coming. Going and coming means not between Secunderabad and Hyderabad, but it is going outside the body and coming back. That is taking birth and dying and going into other worlds. This coming and going will be stopped if that level is reached. Now I want to make it very clear. I am deliberately skipping many of the portions in this text and even not explaining each and every word deliberately because these are very complicated, very abstract and very misleading if not understood correctly. Better to skip those things and just get the overall idea which I am giving. Swashabdena bhavet pranha swadhishtanam tadashrayam. Swadhisthana ashrayad asman medhameva abhidhiyate. Tantuna manivak proto yotra kandha sushumnaya. So these chakras are tied up with the nadis. Now we'll go into the nadis also a little later. Tatradi Tan Nabhimandale Chakram Prochate Manipurakam. In the navel, we have this Manipuraka chakra. Dvadasha, you know where is Mooladhara? That is in the Mooladhara, that is the bottommost part of the spinal cord. And next higher is the Nabhi. Dvadashare Mahachakre, 12 leaves are there. Punya Papa Vivarjite, Tavat Jivo Brahmatyevam, Yavat Tattvam Navindati. Urdham Medhrad Adhonabhihi, Kandayonihi Pagandavan, Tatra Nadyaha Samutpannaha, Sahasrani Dvisaptatihi. 72,000 nadis are coming out from the bottom of navel. And Teshu Nadi Sahasreshu, Dvisaptati Rudahrita, Pradhana Pranavahinyo, Bhuyastu Dashasmrita. So 10 are the most important Pranavahinis, nadis. Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, Gandhari, Hastijihva, Pusha, Yashaswini. These are the names of the nadis, 10 nadis. Alambusa, Kuhu, Shankhini. These are the 10 total. Etan Nadi Mahachakram, Jnatavyam Yogi Sada. So let us just get an idea. Now let me also tell you very clearly and bluntly that whatever study we are doing in this course on Upanishads, it cannot be very deep and it cannot be comprehensive and exhaustive and that you become experts and all that. It's not possible because it's only a first round. I might have done hundreds of rounds of the Upanishads in my whole life. So you might also do many rounds to get more and more deeper knowledge. But just to get a first time exposure, I am teaching these things to you. And deliberately, I am skipping many things because they are very abstract, they are very advanced, and they cannot be understood. And if they are misunderstood, it's very dangerous. Because what is important, you should not have false ideas in the mind and carry, like some of you may be thinking that if you cut the body, you'll find those chakras. You'll never find them. Or if you cut the body, you'll find those nadis. You'll never find them. Now, this is extrasensory perception. Only certain people can feel that. All of them will feel the same thing. And therefore, the reality exists. Now, Ida Vame Sthita Bhage, Dakshine Pingala Sthita. Now, this is an important principle. Ida Nadi is on the left side and Pingala Nadi is on the right side. Ha and Tha. The word Hatha Yoga comes from Ida and Pingala, left and right, cool and hot. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, two sides of the brain. So unless both are balanced, there will be no healthy condition. So Hatha Yoga means balancing of Surya Nadi and Chandra Nadi. And that is why it is called Hatha Yoga. Not because of Hat Karne ka, it's not that meaning. Not adamants or foolish adamants, it's not that meaning. It is balancing of Chandra Nadi and Surya Nadi. Chandra Nadi stands for all cold principles. Like when we get the cold season, you get cold cough and all these things. And in the Surya Nadi refers to the hot principles. So right side, the right nostril. So heat and sunstroke and all these things are on the right side nostril. So when both are balanced, heat and cold are balanced, then you are normal temperature, normal health, 98.4, no coronavirus, nothing. So fever is also a abnormal condition. And normal temperature and inside being normal, neither feeling hot nor feeling cold, nor feeling the effects of cold, nor feeling the effects of heat. That is a healthy condition. That much you can easily understand. So the whole objective of yoga practices is to maintain the healthy condition of balance between the cold and hot principles. Ida is cold and Pingala is hot. Pingala stands for sun and Ida stands for moon. So in Surya Bheda Pranayama, we use the Pingala, that is the right side, to take in the air and breathe out through the left side. And again take only through the right and again breathe out to the left and go on doing. So as you activate the right side, the heat will come up in the body, even in winter, deep winter also. And vice versa on the left side. Of course, we have Sitali Sitkari Pranayamas, we will do with the tongue also involved. Now the Sushumna is an advanced level of thing which is there in the center. Sushumna Madhyadeshe tu Gandhari Vamachakshushi. And Gandhari is in left eye. Dakshine Hastijihva, in right eye is the Hastijihva. And Pusha Karne to Dakshine, in the right ear is Pusha. Yashasvinim Vamakarne, in left eye, left ear is Yashasvini. And Chapya Alambusa, Anane chapi alambusa. In the face or mouth is the alambusa. And kuhuscha lingadeshe, in the sex organ is kuhu. And moolasthane, in mooladhara is shankini. This is the location of these nadis. Evam dwaram savasricha tishtantam nadayakramat. So these are 10 nadis. There are more nadis also. Some of them will be explained maybe in later stages. Ida pingalas sushumna pranamarge samsthita satatam pranavahinyah soma surya agni devataha. So Ida is Soma, that is moon, Pingala is sun, that is heat, and Sushumna is Agni, energy. Pranapana Samanakhya Vyanodana Ucha Vayavaha. Vayus are 5, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Saman. And also there are more Vayus. Nagaha, Kurmaha, Krukaraha, Devadatta, Dhananjaya, Hridi Prana Sthito, Nityam Apano, Gudha Mandale. Prana is always in the heart. Hridi Pranasthitaha and Apano Gudamandale. It is in the rectum. The Apana Vayu, that is the gas going out, is in the rectum. Samano Nabhideshe. Samana is in the Nabhi, navel. Udanaha Kantamadjagaha. Udana is in the center of your throat. Vyanaha Sarva Sharire. Vyana is spread all over the body. So Pradhana Panchavayavaha. Panchavayus. They are all one word called Prana, but actually it has 5 Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Sama. Udgare Naga Khyataha. Kurma Unmilanecha. The eye lifting and putting is Kurma. Krukaraha Kshutkaro. The one which causes hunger is Krukara. And Devadatto Vijrumbhane. Yeyo Devadatto Vijrumbhane. When you get excited, that is Devadatta. Na jahati mrutam vapi sarvavyapi dhananjaya. Dhananjaya is one vayu which does not leave even upon death. Ete nadishu sarvasu brahmante jivayantavaha. Among all living animals, not only human being but all animals, these nadis are carrying the prana in them. Prana chalana chalanabhyam jiva chalana chalane. Akshipto bhujadandena yathochvalati kantukaha pranapana samakshiptaha tadha jivo na tishtati. Pranapana prana chalana chalanopeksham jiva chalana chalana niptyaha akshipta iti. So if the prana is moving or not moving, accordingly jiva is moving or not moving. Pranapana samiksha saptata jivo na tishtati. Pranapana vasho jivo yatha chodhancha dhavati. The jiva is based on the prana and apana. And the jiva is accordingly existing or not existing or moving according to the 5 pranas. So as the prana pulls the apana and similarly apana pulls the prana, this living soul, as a result of this pulling, moves frequently up and down. He is truly an expert in yoga who knows such process of moving up and downward of the prana or the living soul. Hakarena bahiryati sakarena vishet punaha. Whenever the expiration, the breathing out is happening, it is ha. Ha means breathing out. Sa is breathing in. Sakarena vishet punaha. So if you add these two together, it becomes hamsa. Hamsa hamsetyahum mantram jivo yapati sarvada. So the jiva is always chanting hamsa. So hum. So is breathing in. Hum is breathing out. So hum is hamsa. So hum means I am he. I am God. Hamsa is actually God, Paramatma. Hamsa hamsaya vidmahe paramahamsaya dhimahi. If you look at the symbol of Ramakrishna Mission, I told you the other day to one question as an answer that there is a lotus which is bhakti, there is a sunlight which is rising sun which is jnana, and there is water, which is karma, and there is a snake surrounding the whole symbol called Kundalini, which is Raj Yoga. But all these methods are only to look at the Paramatma, which is Hamsa. Hamsa is swan. Swan is taken as like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Like the Hamsa is always taken as God or Paramatma. And so to see that or to reach that Hamsa, this entire yoga system is there. And now he is explaining Hamsa as your inhalation, exhalation. Hamsa Hamsetyavam mantra, Jivo Japati Sarvada. You are non-stop chanting the mantra Hamsa, Hamsa, Hamsa. Because Soham, Soham, Soham. Ham, Soham, 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 So. Ham is expiration, so is inspiration. Soham. So Shatshatani Divaratro Sahasranya Ekavanshati. So busy frequently in the night and the day with silent recital japa. This living soul thus recites 21,600 hymns in a day. So the number of breaths is 21,600 in a day. If you reduce the number of breaths, then you will get longer life as per the proportion. In pranayama, you take deeper breaths, so the number of breaths is reduced. Now let me explain why reducing number of breaths is pranayama, and it is very so important. Because every time you breathe in and breathe out, the lungs are moving up and down. So therefore the chest is also moving, the bones, the cage of the ribs is going up and coming down. So every time that going up and comes down, the entire energy is being wasted in moving those ribs. So the ribs are very heavy. Whereas if you reduce that number of times, you are saving so much energy. And second important principle is when you take longer breath and therefore deeper breath and therefore greater oxygen supply and greater absorption in the body. And when you breathe out, you are again coming down slowly with a delay. So there is greater absorption of the oxygen and purification of the blood in the body. Kumbhaka is purifying the blood in the body, and most of the diseases are due to this only, and they will be prevented or cured or prevented. So pranayamena yuktena sarvaroga kshayo bhavet. Now 21,600 times is because we take around 15 times per minute. 4 seconds per breath normally. Take 4 seconds, leave out 4 seconds. Or sometimes you do faster. So the faster you do, the lesser is your lifespan. Like you look at the dog will be inhaling, exhaling very, very fast. And the total lifespan is very, very small compared to a man's life. So longer life means longer deep breaths. So now the 21,700 is the magic figure. You are singing Soham every day, so many times, without knowing. Ajapa Nama Gayatri Yoginam Mokshada Sada. This is called Ajapa Gayatri. Without japa, ajapa, and you are doing japa. Asya sankalpa matrena sarva papai pramuchate. Once you understand this, that without knowing, you are doing this Soham meditation, Ajapa Gayatri, 21,600 times per day. That means you are clearing of your sins. Soham, Soham. Anaya sadrishi vidya, anaya sadrisho japaha, anaya sadrisham jnanam, na bhutam na bhavishyati. No learning, no japa, no knowledge is equal to what existed in past nor expected in the future, superior to this Ajapa Gayatri. Kundalinya Samudbhuta Gayatri Pranadharini. Gayatri is a learning of prana, and the great learning is towards the breathing prana, which has been originated from Kundalini. The person who knows this fact is the true knower of the Veda. Pranavidya Mahavidya Yastam Vetti Savedavit. This Pranavidya, science of prana, pranayama, is the Mahavidya, and he who knows this is the true expert of the Vedas. Kandordhve Kundali Shakti Ashtadha Kundalakriti Brahmadwara Mukham Nityam Sukhenat Achadya Tishtati. The power of Kundalini always exists by covering the door of Brahma through the mouth, and it is spreaded in the shape of 8 earrings, kundals. Kundal means earring. Just as the upper portion of the conjunction, khanda of the nerves. It just means wound up. Kundali Kotilakara. Yena dvarena gantavyam brahmadwaram manomayam. Mukhenachadhyatadvaram prasupta parameshwari. This power of supreme goddess Kundalini is slept by covering through its mouth the door of Brahma, the spinal cord, to which the entrance is made. Prabuddha Vahni Yogena Manasa Maruta Saha Suchiva Gatramadaya Vajra Urdham Sushumnaya. It ascends like a needle within the spinal nerve in the company of the mind and the breathing as light when it is awakened through the yoga of fire, Agni Yoga. Udghatayet Kavatam tu yatha Unchikaya Gruham Kundalinya Tatha Yogi Mokshadwaram Praveda. The yogis open the door of moksha, emancipation through Kundalini, as the door lock is opened by inserting the key. Krutva samputito karo dridhataram badhvatu padmasanam गाढ़ं वक्षामि सन्निधाय चुबुकं ध्यानं च तच्चेष्टितं वारं वारं अपानं ऊर्ध्वमनिलं प्रोच्चरेत् पूरितं मुञ्चत् प्राणमुपैति बोधं अतुलं शक्तिप्रभावात् नरः. Those desirous of exercising pranayama should sit firmly in Padmasana, put his hands on one other in the lap, try to touch the chest through the chin by bending the head down, and exhale and inhale the air frequently, along with the mind concentrated on Brahma. He should inhale the breathing air and lift up the apana wind. A man exercising pranayama this way obtains unique power in body and mind both. You all have learned pranayama, so I don't have to teach you pranayama. Of course, you have learned the beginning stages. Without controlling nostrils also, you can do deep breathing. Sitting in Padmasana and slightly bending the head forward, closing the eyes and taking deep breaths and breathing out. And also you have Bhastrika, Brahmari and so many other pranayamas. Kapalabhati. Anganam Mardanam Krutva Srama Sanjatavarina Katwamlavana Chagi Kshira Bhoktam Acharayat. The perspiration oozing out of the body as a result of pranayama practice should be smeared over the body and abandon the use of saline, sour and bitter taste eatables. He should emphasize on milk and eatables made from the milk. So it is explaining the pranayama practice and the diet restrictions. So whatever sweat comes out of pranayama, if at all it comes out, it should be smeared on the body itself, massaging. And the food diet should be avoiding all other tastes except just milk and rice or milk and wheat or milk and barley. Susnigdham aduraharam chaturdhamsha vivarjitah unjate shiva sampritya mitaharo cha uchyate. We are all supposed to become mitaharis, that is limited eaters. Who is a mitahari? He is not an amitahari. Amitahari is an unlimited eater. He will go on eating all the time. I once remember I was sitting in an Andhra Pradesh Express going to Delhi, and next to me one Sardarji was sitting and his family. I saw that every 5-10 minutes he was eating something, because this in the trains these caterers will bring continuously, they go on bringing so many items for eating. So people will go on buying and go on eating, or they might have brought from home also. And I have seen many times, even in big meetings, people eat a lot. Once I was invited to give a lecture to Lions Club of Kartava, Dwarka Hotel. First they came to have more, that is Oris. Then they ate their samosas and kachoris, etc. Then they went to Dwarka Hotel. Again they started eating. Then they asked me to demonstrate yoga. Of course, I didn't eat anything because I had to demonstrate yoga. After I finished demonstrating yoga, again they started eating dinner. So in front of my eyes, they ate 3 times in 3 hours or 4 hours. So people eat like that. They are not mitaharis. And let me assure you that all diseases in the world come due to excessive food eating. Because whatever food you eat, if it is not required by the body, it will turn into fat or into sugar. So either you will get diabetes or you will get obesity or both, or even heart problem, just by eating too much. So the best thing is to cut down the eating by half or 1/4. Now he's explaining a person exercising yoga should always take the delicious and good food. He should make a provision mostly based on milk or milk products. Provision for his diet in which only half part of the belly for food, 1/4 for water, and 1/4 should be void or blank. So only half you should fill your belly. Those who eat a full stomach, they are inviting troubles for themselves. You should eat food only for overcoming hunger and not for eating full stomach. Only half stomach should be eaten, and one remaining half should be filled with water, and rest should be left empty. Only then digestion will happen properly. The person who takes care of this proportion and offers that food firstly to God is called mitahari, the balanced diet taker. Balanced diet. People keep on talking without knowing what it is. So this is balanced diet, mitahari. Of course, there is another dimension of balanced diet. What are the contents which you're eating? How much fat is there? How much carbohydrate is there? How much protein is there? The correct balance, correct proportion is the balanced diet. You all know this. I think you're all yoga teachers, so you must have known about this. The dietitian, I've also talked once last time. Dietitian's perspective, diet restrictions, and what kind of diet to take, what not to take. We have already discussed in Bhagavad Gita the tamasic diet and rajasic diet. Tamasic diet is any diet which is cooked and stored for more than 3.5 hours, or so it start getting fermented, become alcoholic. That is tamasic. And rajasic is which is spicy and oily and so on. Most of it is like that. So if you avoid both the rajasic and tamasic diet, you take sattvic diet, then you will have ayush sattva bala arogya vivardhanam. You will have greater longevity, greater health, greater strength, greater positive attitude, and greater resistance to all problems like coronavirus. So if you have proper sattvic food, the food which is given as prasadam in all temples is sattvic food. So are similar to that. And you will get sattvic state of mind, then you are Brahminical in nature. Though whether you are born as Brahmin or not is separate issue. If you are born as a Brahmin, it's much more easier to become Brahminical in your life. But even if you are not born as a Brahmin, you can become Brahminical in your life by your food and your diet, your exercise, and your attitude. Kandordhve kundali shakti ashtadha kundalakriti bandhana cha mudhanam yoginam mokshada sada. Bandhana cha mudhanam yoginam mokshada. This kundalini shakti will tie out, will give bandhana to mudhas, fools, and for yogis it will give moksha. The same kundalini, the power of kundalini at upper portion of the nerve cluster, kunda, with 8 worlds, gives emancipation to the yogis while it creates bondage for the persons hovering in the realm of ignorance. So on Kundalini, there are a lot of sensational books written. Most of them are bogus. They talk nonsense. They write whatever they like. We don't want to get into all those things. Okay, till now, any questions? Because we'll get into some more practices, Mahamudra and all those things. Till now, you have any questions you ask? Hello? Go on. Can you hear me? Gone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Is it